Good morning, class. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. Okay, class, we'll just start after 5 minutes. Okay, just give me 5 minutes. We'll begin after 5 minutes. Just stay online. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, class. Can you hear me? Thanks for waiting. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Clearly.
Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
So, your midterm is from 14th of Feb, right? So, today we'll be getting a class, and next week I will be engaging the class on Tuesday at least. Okay. Wednesday, I'll see if I'm not able to complete the portions that will be there in the midterm. Then only I'll engage the class on Wednesday. Otherwise, there won't be any class on Wednesday next week. Okay, you can take that day off at least from my side to prepare for your midterm. But next Tuesday I'll have to take the class, as yesterday I couldn't take the class, engage the class, so I would require another class. Okay, so what is the topic in third module which we are left to uh, discuss? Can somebody just tell me? Uh,
Ma'am, Pressy Writing.
okay, and
Ma'am, enlargement.
enlargement we don't have. I think you have the old version of the syllabus. The new version doesn't have enlargement. We have only Pressy Writing. Okay. And what
Ma'am,
else?
in serial number 3, here I have comprehension, summary writing, paragraph formulation, enlargement, and Pressy Writing.
No. You have the old syllabus. Where did you get this syllabus?
Ma'am, I get this from the website, I think.
No, that's
So,
the old one. I had uploaded the syllabus on your classroom. See that. That's
okay,
the
ma'am, I
current
will.
syllabus. Yeah. That's the
Okay, ma'am.
current syllabus
Okay, ma'am.
which we are following for the last 3, 4 semesters.
Okay,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Pressy
I will check.
writing,
Okay. Just check that.
Pressy
On
and
your, yes.
writing
Pressy
for
and
the web.
yes, writing for the web. Okay. So today, since we have one period, okay, let's start with Pressy writing and writing for the web. I'll do that on Tuesday next week. Okay. So I think next Wednesday I won't be requiring the class, so you can take that off. Okay. Okay. Let's start with Pressy writing. Now this is also another topic which we all have done in our school days, right? Uh, now, does anybody remember what Pressy writing is? Or what was all about Pressy writing in school, what were we taught? Does anybody remember that?
Yes, ma'am, it's like summary, but it's not summary.
What a nice answer. Can you please elaborate further, or somebody else?
Like, ma'am, we have to extract the meaning of the paragraph, but not copying the paragraph.
That you do in comprehension as well, okay, but in a different
Yes,
way.
ma'am.
In
Yes, ma'am.
comprehension, yes, in comprehension you are given a passage unseen usually, and there are certain questions which are given from the passage, and you have to answer those questions. The answers are all there in your passage mostly, until and unless it is something analytical and you have to use your critical perception to answer it. More, maximum time you'll see that the answer is there, but then you have to answer it in your own language, not copying from the passage. This is what we say we do in comprehension, right? And since we are talking about comprehension, you will obviously be getting a passage, okay, comprehension passage in your exam. So keep one thing in mind, while answering. Don't copy from the passage. Lifting sentences from the passage. Don't do that. Okay. If you do that, you will get just half a mark. Okay. Even if your answer is correct. Okay. Keep that in mind. Now let's come to Pressy writing. Yes. Now what he was saying is that it is somewhat like a summary. Then you have to express the meaning of the passage. All these are true. Okay. Not denying. But then, yes, you actually have to compress, the idea. Suppose you get a passage, uh, let me say in words, okay? Number of words, not pages. Let's say number of words. Suppose you have a passage which is in 1,000 words, okay? Now you will have to write a précis of this passage. What do you do first? Okay. Now these are the steps you have to keep in mind. Okay, I will send you a passage. Okay, you can work that out. Now, you have got a passage of 1,000 words. Okay, any passage. First, you'll have to read the passage. Okay, you have to understand the meaning, what it wants to say, right? Now, you have to write the Pressy. Now, what is Pressy? Summary? Not exactly summary. Yes, you have to incorporate the main ideas of the passage. Okay, the passage which was given to you for Pressy writing, the main ideas. And you have to write the Pressy. The length of the Pressy would be one third of what the actual length of the passage is. Now, I just told you it is in 1,000 words. Okay. Now, when you will be given the passage for Pressy writing, at the end of the passage, the total number of words would be given to you, whatever number of words it is. Okay. To make it simpler for you all, so that you know. So 1,000 words passage, one third will be the Pressy. That means in 300, almost 300, 330 words, you will have to write the Pressy. Okay. Now, how do you calculate this 300 or 330 words? There are two drafts of a Pressy. One is the rough draft, okay, and one is the final draft. Now, in the rough draft, you prepare grid. You know what a grid is? The grid system of writing the Pressy.
No, ma'am.
No,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. There's a fixed number of words. I guess we have to write with the exact same number of words that's given.
Ma'am, I think one third this is. That is.
Yes, one
Yes.
third. That is
Yeah,
Rows
obviously
like
and
the
5
columns.
by 12 grid and then like those kind
yes.
of grids.
Actually, you will have to create a table. A
Yeah,
crisscross
yeah,
table.
table.
Like
Have it
yes,
in the boards.
so that it actually becomes easier for you to calculate the number of words. Otherwise, if you are writing in paragraph form, then it may be difficult for you to calculate words. Suppose you have to write it in 300 words as the one third you are getting of the passage. So you create rows and columns accordingly. Okay, maybe 10 columns, 30 rows, something like that. Okay, so that that's a table you draw. What I
Ma'am,
mean
if
by
we
the grid.
exceed the number of words by even by a small number, will we be penalized?
No, no, no. That is what. That is why Pressy actually means that you have to be very concise
Yes,
with the
that yes, yes.
information. You
Yes,
have
be
to compress
specific.
the information. Now, what happens, when you get a passage, you see sometimes, to explain a point, there are examples given in the passage, right? So when you are writing the Pressy, it's better, you avoid those examples. Just give the main idea, the crux, and leave it, because once you start putting the examples, now, there are two, three examples of the same point. You cannot just give one example and leave the two, because you don't know which one is important. So it's better, you just explain, give the point and leave the example to make it more concise, brief, to fit in within the word limit. Why we suggest, the grid system in the rough draft is that, it also,
Hello?
makes, can you please mute yourself and say hello? Yeah, thank you. Okay, now, the grid system, see the number of columns and rows, it saves your time. You know how many words you have actually, put in there, and if you have to compress further, that it will give an idea. And once you see, we as teachers, when we are evaluating, we can see, okay, these are the number of words, or there. So it helps us evaluate also. So it makes the job easier for both of us. Okay. So that is why we suggest that you prepare a rough draft, which is the grid. Okay, the grid system. You
Ma'am,
write.
please explain the grid system.
It's only the number of columns and rows. You have to write a Pressy, suppose in 300 words. It can be less also. I'm saying the one third. Okay, the one third of the Pressy passage, it is coming to 300 words. So you prepare columns, divide it, columns and rows accordingly. These columns and rows, when you are drawing, that is called the grid system of writing the Pressy. Okay. Suppose 10 rows, 10 columns, 30 rows. Okay. That will give you the 300 words, space, the space for 300 words. Okay. The column and rows which you are drawing with pen, pencil, whatever it is, that is called the grid. Okay. And when you insert, the words there in the rows and the columns with the space there, okay, that's the grid system. That is the rough draft of your Pressy. Okay. That will
Ma'am, please
help
show us
you.
in copy.
How will I show you? Wait, just a second. Let me see if I can get it on Google. Just give me a minute then. Um, are you able to access Google? Any one of you? I think it is accessible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now in Google, just write Pressy Writing grid example. You will get a number of images. Okay, you will see the rows and the columns. Just do that because I cannot show you. The boardwork is not possible here. Okay.
Ma'am, you can share your screen if you want.
Okay, just a second then. Wait. Just give me a minute. Wait. Okay, I think somebody has already shared the screen. Uh, yes. Okay, roll number 55 has already shared the screen. Thank you. Can everybody see the screen he has shared?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, fine. So, do you see the rows and columns towards the corner in SSC CGL Tier 3? Do you see that with the pen mark over there in the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that is what I was saying was the grid where you draw the columns and the rows. Okay, depending on the number of words you will have to write the Pressy in. If it is 200 words, you divide it accordingly, the number of rows and columns. If it is 150, you divide accordingly. Okay, that will help you to fit the Pressy in that concise manner. If it exceeds whatever ideas you're putting in there, if it exceeds, you would know where to actually compress or delete. That will actually help you to do. Otherwise, merely writing it in paragraph sentences from these are all sentences, but you're just putting each word in each space, so the counting becomes easier. But if it is only paragraph, you are writing the sentences, then you will have to count the number of words, so it is a waste of time actually. So this is what
And the
the
number of words needs to be precise. Like in paragraph with like average, like then we use that.
It is one third of the passage, whatever passage you are given. Not more than that. For summary and other things, it can be half the length of the passage. Okay. But for Pressy, since it is, you know, precise, concise, compressed information you are given, idea of the passage you are giving, it's one third of the actual length. And that is why I'm telling you, whenever you are given the passage, in your exam, at the end of the passage, we will give you the total number of words. Okay, so that you don't have to count it. We will be obviously giving you a passage, in paragraph form. So it will help you not, uh, not wasting any time counting words. Okay, so that is the case. Now, since so this is the rough draft or the grid pattern, of writing the Pressy. Now, after you have written your Pressy, finalized your Pressy here. You can delete things, you can change words, you can do anything. That's the rough draft. Finally, you write the Pressy in the paragraph form. The same thing in the paragraph form. Okay, you do that. Now, that is what is supposed to be done for the Pressy.
I mean,
Now,
ma'am, two times we'll not get time to write in exam.
yes. Now, I was coming to that. When there was this offline exam, it was of 1.5 hours. Okay, this mid-sem, or 2 hours, I think. 1.5 or 2 hours. So there was ample time where you could do both things. Okay, but
Ma'am, for only 30 marks, 2 hours.
yes, in offline exam it was there, but now in online it is 45 minutes and 10 or 15 minutes you get for uploading. But when it was offline, it was I think it was 2 hours, and the end semester was of 3 hours. Okay. So then you used to get ample time. So this was actually what you were supposed to do. And in online, since there is this paucity of time, okay, for in 45 minutes we cannot expect you to write the same thing twice. So what we suggest you is that don't write the grid. Simply, write it in the paragraph. Okay. And in the paragraph, when you're writing it, just as we are giving you at the end of the passage the number of words, you write it at the end the number of words. Okay, it is there in the passage. You just write the final draft. Since it is the online exam and there is not much time. Okay. But while teaching, we cannot differentiate, online and offline, and just, not talk about the grid system. That we cannot do. So it is a part of the explanation. So I'm explaining. But in the exam, until and unless you are it is specified in the question that you have to write the grid, there is no need to write the grid. Straight away write the final draft, which is in paragraph form. Okay, and at the end of the paragraph, just write the total amount of words. Okay, number of words you have put it in that paragraph. Is it clear? Did you
But
follow?
ma'am, uh,
Yes.
yes, ma'am, there will be some changes to the final draft also, right? We, if we start writing the final draft, there will be some changes. Then what do we do then?
What do you do then? You have to present the final draft. You can then you see, that is how you are going to adjust the time. Okay, and make it as neat as possible. You cannot just write one paragraph, I'm saying, and there are lots of scribbles in between, corrections in between, and say that that is the final draft. No, you cannot say that. Okay.
If we do
So
cuts in the paragraph, then marks will be cut.
if it is untidy, if it is difficult for me to understand, then obviously your marks will vary. Make it as neat as possible. Okay. So what you can do is that you can write it fast enough to see whether you can fit into that word amount or not, word limit or not. So that is how you can do. But you are giving me the rough draft as the final draft with lots of corrections, changes there. Then it will be difficult for me to understand what was the actual thing you have tried to say and write. Okay, so your marks will vary. So
Ma'am, what
that
is
you
the pattern?
pattern. What
Yes,
what do
ma'am.
you mean by pattern?
Ma'am, how will you frame the questions?
I'll give you the
Ma'am,
passage.
question pattern.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll give you the passage for a Pressy. Okay, I haven't decided the passage, but it is usually short. I'll give you a short passage so that it does not take much time for you all to read and understand. Fairly simple. And then you will be asked to write the Pressy of it. This will be your question on Pressy. For comprehension, you will be given another small unseen passage, and there will be, some 4 or 5 questions. And as I was telling you, the answers will be there in the passage itself, but you will have to answer in your own words. If you don't, then even if your answer is correct, if you lift simply, the sentences from the passage, you will get only half marks. That I'm telling you in the class. So many students are present, and those who are not present also can convey the information to your classmates, those who are absent. No lifting, sentences, words from the passage. You have to write it in your own words to get the maximum marks. Okay, for comprehension. For grammar, see, yes, today I'll be uploading the sheets on antonym, synonym, homonyms, those things, idioms. I'll be uploading that. And grammar portion was whatever we have done. There will be, some 10 marks, I guess, maybe at the max. Or let's see. 30 marks is the full paper. So these are the topics. We will try and divide it accordingly. Okay. And you will be getting some questions from grammar. So that's what you will be getting in the question paper.
Ma'am, will there be alternatives?
No, no choice in this mixture. Usually,
Okay.
for this thing, we don't give you any choice. Okay. It's a pretty simple paper. What choice will I give you in grammar portion? You tell me. Not
Ma'am, like
possible.
writing paragraph or pressy?
Let's see. I don't think that we do. For the past semesters, we haven't done. Okay, we have given you all short passages so that if, you all can read it and then present everything. Let's see. It will be out of 30 marks, and these are the modules which will be there. Okay. If you get a choice, good for you. But for the till the last semester, there was no choice. At least in the midterm exam, there was no choice. Okay. Until now, we haven't decided on giving you this choice. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So for the yes, another important point of Pressy is that the passage will be given to you in the question, obviously. Now, when you are writing the Pressy, you are supposed to give a title to your Pressy. Okay. Now, if your Pressy is suppose, let's say, of 8 marks, okay. So 1 mark will be for your title. A suitable title needs to be given to your Pressy. Is that clear? If you do not give the title, it's incomplete. So 1 mark already gone. Okay. Did you follow this? A title to your Pressy is required. That title won't be given in the passage. You will have to think of a nice, intelligent title. Okay, and write it. Not very long, not very short, something crisp, intelligent. Okay. Is this clear?
Okay.
Okay. Any other question, class, from Pressy?
Pressy write in one para.
Yes, it's in 1 para only. You will be getting a passage which will be short enough for your online exam, and 1/3 of the words which are there in the passage, you will have to write the Pressy in that much words, and you write it in 1 paragraph. Okay. At the max, a Pressy, you would see that 1/3 is coming to maximum 200 words.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
if you give us a assignment something on one Pressy, if you on class time, you fix the time 15 minutes or 20 minutes, we will upload, ma'am. If you can check, we will get our problems that this we are getting
Okay,
problem.
so next Tuesday we will do that. Or do you want me to give you as home assignment? Let's keep it on Tuesday then, because Tuesday we have double period. So Tuesday it
Oh,
will be
okay, ma'am.
better. Okay.
Ma'am,
Okay,
give
ma'am.
it us on home assignment. We will solve it and then send you. Then
No,
on
but
the
what?
class we will discuss us.
Uh, a
No.
small Pressy like it maybe I
No,
think
I
if
understood.
class time
But
is okay.
no, class assignment would be better, because if I say that you'll have to solve it in 15 minutes, then it will be easier for you to understand whether you are able to solve it or not, because 45 minutes you'll be getting for the entire question paper. So we'll have to see whether you can understand and write a Pressy in that manner or not. Okay, so home assignment, it would be it would be advantageous for you in the sense that you can do it anytime, but then the time limit and everything, it will be up to you to decide. Okay, so you may not be very honest with that. So next Tuesday we have a double period. So after I finish teaching you writing for the web, I'll upload a small passage for Pressy Writing, and then I'll fix the time and you can work on it.
Now, can we underline words or highlight words in between the Pressy?
You can do anything, but what is required is that the final one which you think you'll be submitting as part of your answer, don't do all those things in that the final answer. For your rough draft in your question paper, for your scribbles and everything, you can do anything you want. Okay, if it helps you understand, if it helps you to compress the subject matter, you can do anything. But in the final format which you are uploading as the answer, since we are not asking you to give the grid system because of the paucity of time, obviously. So in the final answer, don't do all these things. Okay, it will become very difficult for us to understand whether that is the final version you have written or not. It is not for us to prepare the final version. Is it clear?
Ma'am, we should not
Yes,
use
ma'am.
the grid format, na?
No. That I'm
Okay,
telling
ma'am.
you, no grid format is required until and unless you are specified to do it. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Because grid format we do when we are writing the rough draft. So that was there in the offline exam where we expected you to do the grid format. But here you will be getting only 45 minutes. How will you write the same thing, twice? Almost the same thing, let's say. It's not the same thing, but almost the same thing. But if you think that it's not required in the answer unless specified, but to help you write faster as your rough draft, you can do it when you are scribbling. It is not required to be uploaded, but for your understanding, or if for your to help yourself, you can do it as your rough work. Okay, if you have that time, but don't waste time, I would say. It's only for just preparing the grid, and then you lose out on time to attempt the other questions. That is also not desirable. Okay. Yes.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
other? Okay. Yes. And the title to a press is very important. There's at least 1 mark for the title. Okay, class? Don't forget to write a title.
Ma'am, the title will be in full capital letter or like normal sentence we write?
Normal. The first word of your, the first alphabet of, your title will be in caps and the rest in small letter. Okay. No cap, just a suitable title. That also should be intelligent and crisp. And related to the subject matter, okay, not unrelated. You have to be very, careful with that, right?
Can you underline the title?
You can do that, no problem. These are all simple things you can do. Any other question on Pressy? Did you follow?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, in the previous classes, we have, done a lot many topics. So, any question from those previous classes? The topics? No?
I mean, grammar, the questions will come in the form of error correction only, or separate, like idioms will be given. You have to write sentence of it.
See, yes, for this grammar portion, since we have lot many topics, small topics, there, subtopics there. So, idioms, synonyms, homophones, then error detection, time and tense, passive, active, passive voice, these all come under your grammar portion, right? So maybe, one, two from each topic you'll be getting. Okay. Yes, when it is idioms, you will be asked to write, sentences. If it is homophones also, you may be given to, a pair of words, and you would be asked to, write sentences with that, so that we can understand you know the meaning and you have framed a proper sentence. Okay.
Okay.
And for error correction and time and tense, those will be for time and tense especially, it will be like fill in the blanks. Error detection, a sentence would be given and it will be mentioned that you have to correct the sentence. So you'll have to read the sentence and see if there is any correction required or not and write it. Don't copy these sentences, don't waste your time, just write the correct answer. Okay? At least for my portion, okay, since I'll be correcting your papers for this group 5. So your standing instruction is that don't copy the sentences, the questions. Just write the correct answer. Don't waste your time doing all those things. Okay. Is it clear?
Ma'am, if the number of words in the paragraph is not exactly divisible by 3, we may add or omit one or two words, right?
Yes, that is allowed. But suppose let's say it's coming to 170. I'm saying okay, it's 170. The number of
Yeah.
words. Okay, you have to write it in 170. It's not divisible, so it's coming to 170, 172, something like the 1 2 extra word. That is
Okay,
still
ma'am.
allowed. Okay, that is still
Uh,
allowed. But then 170 words and you make it to 180, 190 words, then your marks will be deducted.
Okay. And ma'am, in grid system, so in general, it is mandatory to draw the lines. Can't we do it by spacing between the words? Like,
I did not follow your question. What did you say?
uh, like ma'am, as shown in the figure, there are lines drawn to represent
That's the grid.
rows and
Yes, that's the
columns.
grid system. Yes, that's the grid system. Yes.
Yeah. Is it mandatory to draw the lines? Like we can't do it by giving space between the words
No,
for
no,
rows and
that
columns.
grid system, that is what I was telling you. That is the rough draft. Okay. So
Yeah,
when it was a 2 hours paper, both the rough draft and final draft was required, where you had to draw the
yeah,
lines and
that
everything.
that I
But
understood,
now,
ma'am.
yes, but
Yeah,
now you just
that
write it in paragraph.
yeah, that I got. But I am asking in general, if we write by grid system, is it mandatory to draw lines?
Yes, yes. Otherwise, how is it, grid system? You have to draw the lines. Here for the exam, don't use the grid system. You won't get time.
Yeah, that I got. Thank you.
Okay.
Will we have to count the number of words which will be given by you?
We will write it at the end of the passage. How many words are there in the passage? To make it simpler for you, we are doing that. But the
Okay,
number of
okay, ma'am.
words you will be writing, you will have to mention.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, that every one of you will have to mention at the end of the passage that you are writing. Because the grid system is not that, so we cannot understand whether you have, adhered to that 1/3 word limit or not. Okay.
Ma'am, there is a topic etymology of words. Ma'am, what we need to do there?
I'll upload the necessary sheets. Okay, you'll get it there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, whatever sheets I'll be uploading, that will be there in the syllabus. Don't worry, you'll be getting everything. Okay, that I'll be uploading today. Okay.
And what is writing for web?
That I'll be doing in the next class.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, will marks be deducted for weak vocabulary?
Will marks be deducted for weak vocabulary? Is that what you asked?
Yes, ma'am.
If it is not correct, if it is grammatically incorrect, if it is not making any sense, how will we mark you? You don't have to write, high sounding words and everything, but in simple English is allowed, but you have to write grammatically correct sentences.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, grammatically correct sentences will be required. No need for writing, all high sounding words, jargons, those are not required, but grammatically correct English sentences are required for you to score better. Okay. Any other questions, class? No?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then I think it's already almost time, so we will end the class today here. We'll meet next week, and today I'll upload the necessary sheets, okay, on your classroom so you can see that. Okay, thank you, class. You may leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
बाय मैम, कुछ बताइए आज, मेरा क्लास ये मिस हो गया।